These are 5 pro training basketball drills that kids can do at home. So they're things that the pros actually do in their workouts that will translate very well for a kid, something that a kid can easily pick up and do no matter what their level of ability, and of course they can do it at home. So best of both worlds, they're getting good training, good workout, and they can do it with limited space and resources. Coach Jesse Minch with Get Handles Basketball, where we train harder and smarter so you can play like the pros. If that's something you're looking to do, subscribe and click that bell icon to catch the newest videos. First thing is form shooting. Now there's a couple different ways you can go about this, and at the end of the video I'm going to link you to another YouTube video that's got a bunch of different options. A few of them I bet you haven't seen before, but in this video I'll just give you like 3 of the more basic ones. First 2 options of this are going to be with the hoop, but the third will be without. So the first would be just coming next to the hoop, form shooting with 2 hands, trying to get nothing but net. Okay, simple enough. Another variation of that, if the kid has a guide hand thumb flick issue, is I would really have them work on just doing it one-handed to get that control over the basketball and the feel and the habit of releasing with that one hand and not having that guide hand interfering. And then after getting a few repetitions of that in, then going into the 2 hands again, making sure that the guide hand isn't getting involved. And then the third option for this first drill, so this is all considered one drill, is to do form shooting right up and down, right back to yourself, and you can see if you're being accurate and aligned by checking out the release, seeing how the ball is rotating. If it's got side spin, that's not good. If it's got no spin, that's not good. We want back spin, and we want it to go straight up and down, land right back in our hands, or we can let it land on the ground, and if it lands right in front of us, that's a good indicator that we're doing a good job as well. A couple other things you could look at when you're doing this is really paying attention to your form, right? So we're not shooting with a hoop. This is a great time to really drill down and say, okay, what are my mechanics looking like? Like on that last rep, I noticed I didn't fully extend my shooting arm, so I could pay attention to that, making sure I'm holding that follow through, flicking the wrist, looking at what my guide hand's doing, making sure I'm bending my knees, right? Those are all things kids can be looking at when they're doing this stuff at home. Even advanced players, the pros, they do a lot of form shooting, so obviously it pays off. Next thing a lot of pros will do, especially in their off-season workouts, is a lot of stuff to work on getting an active offhand and staying low when they're dribbling. Pretty much any pro that needs to handle the basketball puts some kind of work like this in the off-season. So this is a simple variation kids can do at home. You can do this with a second basketball, a volleyball, it could be a shoe, a cone, but you want something that's pretty low to the ground, okay? From there, all you're gonna be doing is dribbling with one hand, and we're gonna take this other object, basketball, whatever we got, and we're gonna roll it, stop, roll it, stop. Just working on keeping low because we have to stop this basketball down low, and we're also working on getting that active offhand. Then we'll also wanna do the same thing with the other foot stepping, so we're working on our footwork a little bit as well, and then we would switch hands and do the same thing. Stepping, roll, stop, stepping, roll, stop, and do the other leg as well. If you're liking the drill so far, click that like button, and if the tips help, leave me a comment, say this helps. Next drill I'm gonna show you with 4 cones, but again, you don't need cones. You can use any object. Could be chairs for this. Doesn't really matter for this one at all. It doesn't matter even what height it is. But 4 objects, if you got more, even better. And you wanna set them about twice shoulder width apart. So each one's about twice shoulder width apart. And we're just gonna work on getting some spatial awareness, and then you can also change how close or far the cones are to work on being more explosive with your dribbles or working on having more of that tight handle. The other thing we're gonna work on this is a change of speed, something that's big in basketball. So it's gonna take a little while to get the details of this down. So we're gonna move, stop, every single time. So I'm gonna come left around this cone, move, stop, and notice I'm coming just around the cone. We don't wanna work on zigzags like players are a lot of times drilled to do. When you cross over your defender and get past them, you wanna stay tight so you can seal them. So this is gonna help with that as well. But we're gonna go 1 dribble up, stop, crossover, stop, 1 dribble up, stop, crossover, stop, okay? I'm showing you with the carry there just to really exaggerate it and slow it down. Of course, when they're going through it, you would wanna get rid of that. So it would look a little more like this. Okay, so notice how I almost always bring my feet back to each other and get squared up at every cone. And then like I said before, if you wanna work on a different style of handle, different types of elements, bring the cones tighter together to work on a little bit more of that tight handle and trying to squeeze between these gaps. So up, cross, okay? And then if you wanna work on trying to get a little bit further and more explosive with your dribbles, you can always spread them out. So that would look like this. Okay, always getting that little hesitation in at every cone. Next drill is a 2-ball drill. A lot of the best pros in their off seasons are gonna do some 2-ball work. So this is something that's basic enough that kids can get it down. It will take a little practice, but I'm sure they can get it down after a few minutes. And then if you want some more things to continue to advance with this, at the end of the video, just like the form shooting drills you can do at home, I'm gonna give you some more 2-ball drills you can do at home. So this one, all we're gonna do is we're gonna go dribble, cross, always keeping the same ball in front. So I'm always gonna keep this ball in front, so that way each hand is working on a slightly different angle and position with my crossovers, and I'm not just looping them in a circle, and then my left hand's always kind of pushing it forward. I'm working on different angles each way back and forth. So it look like this, okay? And once they get good at it, you can have them get their head up. Now the next drill is actually gonna be the 5th drill, but I've got one more bonus drill that's gonna help them take their scoring around the rim next level, so you'll wanna check that one out as well. Okay, this next drill is gonna work on an active offhand, footwork a little bit, reactions, and making sure there's a good level of court vision and court awareness. We're gonna need a tennis ball. It doesn't have to be a tennis ball. It could be like a racket ball or something, a bouncy ball. Ideally a tennis ball though, because it bounces about as much as we want it to. So all we're gonna do is dribble. Whichever hand has the tennis ball, I'm gonna throw the ball to that side and slightly angled out. So I have to step out to get it, okay? Once I do that though, I'm gonna cross over and I'm gonna catch it with the other hand. So my right hand through the tennis ball, I'm crossing over the basketball and then catching the tennis ball with my left hand, and then we're gonna repeat the other way. And if you'll notice the footwork, I'm gonna step with the foot of the hand that started the dribble, right? So left hand was dribbling, I'm gonna step with that left foot to come get that tennis ball. And then we're gonna repeat on the other side. So crossing over, coming and getting it. Crossing over, coming and getting it. This is pretty easy, pretty basic. Most kids should be able to get this down pretty quick if they got a decent handle. If not, they can definitely get it down with a little bit of practice after a day or two, maybe a week. If you want to get more advanced with this, again, at the end of this video, I'll link you to some more tennis ball drills kids can work on. Okay, finally, pros definitely are going to be working on their finishing around the rim, so we got to get some sort of layup work in. Now, I'm going to give you options if you don't have the hoop, but first I'm going to show you some with the hoop. With the hoop, all you want to do, if it's a kid, just have them work on 1-2 step, overhand layup. Once they get comfortable with that, they can start working on the underhand layup, so they have both options for different types of game situations. And if that gets easy, they can start working on advanced things like Euro steps or whatever the case may be. That's one of the best things you can do for your drills with your layups and finishing around the rim, is just get practice in on the hoop, going game speed, game intensity. Now, if you don't have a hoop, I got an option for you. It's to just basically go through the layup motion without the hoop, focusing on a few things, making sure you're gathering the basketball strong, making sure you're getting the steps right, making sure you're jumping as high as you can, so you're working on that vertical jump a little bit and getting the benefits that way. So just because you don't have a hoop doesn't mean you can't get any benefits. You could be working on getting those layups off quicker, stronger, jumping higher, getting the control down. You could be working on Euro steps, things like that, to get different types of footwork down, and a ton more. Now this YouTube video has actually got some more layup drills you can do without a hoop at home. Here's the video with the advanced tennis ball drills. This is the video with the 2-ball drills. This is the video with the form shooting drills you can do without a hoop. If this video helped, click that like button, the subscribe button, and the bell icon to catch the newest videos, and I'll see you in one of these videos next.